6, 2024. The time is 6:40 p.m. The commission has set this time for a local public hearing to give members of the public a chance to comment about Missouri American Water's Missouri American Water Company's application for a general rate increase for water and sewer service, which is commission file number WR-2024-0320. Before we go any further, I'd ask that everyone make sure that their device is on mute until I call on you to speak. If you're using a landline or an older cell phone with a mute button, *6 will mute and unmute your phone. Tonight's hearing is being conducted online via Cisco WebEx. My name is Ken Sire. I'm a regulatory law judge with the Missouri Public Service Commission, and I will preside over this hearing. The Commission regulates the rates charged by public utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of the operations of public utilities. The Commission has 5 commissioners. They are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. The Commission employs a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. With us tonight is Chair Kayla Hahn and Commissioners Jason Holzman, Glenn Kolkmeyer, Maida Coleman, and John Mitchell. The commissioners have not made any decisions in this case and cannot answer any questions today because they have to remain impartial until after all the evidence is presented at the evidentiary hearing in this matter, which is scheduled to begin on February 27, 2025. At this time, Commissioner Holzman, would you like to make opening remarks?
Thank you, Judge. On behalf of Chairwoman Hahn and the entire commission, we would like to welcome everybody to the virtual local public hearing this evening. We know you have many options for your time and you've chosen to spend it with us to share your thoughts. We have not made any decisions in this case, and we will be listening and evaluating to the best of our objective abilities. We'd like to thank the judge and the staff, OPC, and all the stakeholders who've joined us this evening, and we look forward to a good hearing. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. There are attorneys here online representing parties in the matter. For the record, would each of you identify yourselves and state which party you're representing, beginning with Missouri American Water?
Thank you, Judge. Dean Cooper from the law firm of Bryden, Swearingen and England, PC, P.O. Box 456, Jefferson City, Missouri 65102, appearing on behalf of Missouri American Water Company.
Thank you. Counsel for the staff of the commission.
Yes, thank you, Judge. My name is Ron Irving, with the representing the staff for the Missouri Public Service Commission. The recorder should have my information.
All right. And for the Office of the Public Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. John Weiser, on behalf of the Missouri Office of the Public Counsel. My contact information is in the record.
Thank you. Are there any other attorneys representing parties online? All right. Hearing none, the way this portion of tonight's proceedings will play out is that I will call the names of any people who have signed up to testify tonight. When I call your name, please unmute your phone or other device, and I will place you under oath, ask you to state and spell your name, and then you can offer your comments to the commission. We will try to limit comments to 5 minutes per person. Once you finish your comments, please remain on the line in case there are questions from the commissioners or the attorneys for the parties. The list that has been forwarded to me tonight has one name on the list, and that is Brett Felber. Mr. Felber, are you online?
I am.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Felber.
Good evening.
Would you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. If you would, go ahead and state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Brett. B as in boy, R as in Robert, E as in Echo, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, Felber, F as in Frank, E-L, B as in boy, E-R.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Felber.
All right, so mine is a little lengthy and everything. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to go ahead and speak here. I've dealt with the commission before. So I reserve my suspicion on how smoothly I have done stuff with staff before as well, too. I've dealt with the commissioners, and I understand the water company wants a rate increase and everything. However, sometimes things can be deceiving. Personal experiences, I have no trust in the PSC. I have no trust in the commission because I've been victimized by their counterfeit document scheme. That I brought aware to them on certain things, certain matters, that they've given me copies that was forwarded to me from staff. Despite my pleadings for that, there was nothing done. And each of those commissioners know who they are. It says a lot, and especially when we're dealing with rate increases, if certain companies are sending counterfeit documents out to appeal to them, what are other utilities companies? One bad apple makes it bad for the other bad apples. And that's where I sit with that. So yes, I do reserve my right with the commissioner, the PSC staff. I think there are some uncertainties on how they investigate things and all that with them. That being said, I don't hold any grudge against, anybody. I understand we all have jobs to do. Sometimes things, get overlooked, but I think they overlooked it the wrong way. I reserve, Mr. Mitchell wasn't a part of it, so whatever. Now on to the next thing. I think the commission, minus taking our input, honestly, I think the commission laughs at our comments. I mean, we have never seen something really between out of the commissioners that have said, hey, we've always seen them get an approved increase. Eventually, it's going to drive Missourians into debt. I mean, we're already gouged out to our eyeballs with debt. I mean, there's people that pay more in utilities. This is going to hike up more than whatever. There's people that pay more in the rent than the rent and mortgage per month just on utilities. That's kind of bad when your utilities are costing more than your rent, your mortgage. People are trying to put food on the table and they can't even put food on the table because they've only got one utility company who they have to go to. And unfortunately, that company has that leverage because of it. That being said, let's take a look at yesterday as a prime example, November 5th, and even last year and the year before. I'll use that as an example. Look at the flooding that we've had. Look at our wastewater systems and all that. That's
well, Mr. Felber, what does wastewater systems have to do with Missouri American Water in this case?
I'll get to it. Don't worry. I'll get to it. Don't worry. This is a common problem. We're giving all these money to the utility companies, and they're neglecting to take care of the infrastructure. That's where that gets from. We have MSD, we have the water company with their pipes bursting everywhere. It does. But anyway, let's go ahead and go on to that for Missouri American Water. Facts. The CEO makes roughly $20 million a year in base salary. I wish I could make $20 million a year. I mean, I really would. That being said, regulated bonus, that's the total compensation. That's a red flag right there when a water company corporate executive is making $20 million a year. Regulated business net income was $971 million, 2023. Stock went up this past quarter. In the third quarter, Missouri American Water posted a net of $356 million of 2024. In May of 2023, Missouri American Water asked for a rate increase. Where's that money gone? Plus, Missouri American Water got back in, I believe it was 2022, the state was given $106.4 million for the Infrastructure and Jobs Act to go towards the neglected water infrastructure in Missouri. Where's that money gone, PSC? Where's it gone? I mean, That's money that was supposed to go towards it. That being said, the water company has 3.93 billion in revenue. Their operating costs were 1.2 billion. This is based off of 2021's, I believe. Their net was 1.26 billion. Total assets 26.08 billion, and a total equity of 7.3 billion. If I had assets and stuff like that, I would not be coming to a commission and asking them for a rate hike. I would be paying for that out of my own pocket. What's even worse is
Mr. Felber, you are beyond 5 minutes, so I'd ask you to kind of wrap up your comments.
If you don't want to hear it, I'm the only person talking tonight. I'm pretty sure the other people would love to hear it, Your Honor. I mean,
well, Mr. Felber, how is that fair to people in other hearings that are limited to 5 minutes?
If this goes to show my point of the fair and neutral process, Your Honor, if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to. I mean, if the whole goal of this is to give the basis of everything that goes on, and you're trying to silence me from that. You're trying to silence me from stating what I.
Yes, Commissioner Holzman.
I think it would be appropriate for you to call for any other witnesses at the 5-minute mark here. And if we don't have anyone else who does wish to testify, I believe we can afford Mr. Felber an additional 5 minutes to try and summarize his points tonight.
Sure, Commissioner, that sounds reasonable. Mr. Felber, just a second here then. Are there any other people online who did not sign up ahead of time who would like to testify tonight? All right, hearing none. Mr. Felber, go ahead.
All right. All I ask is for my input to be heard. And these are exact things that other regulatory judges have done. I'm just telling you, it doesn't look good. All right. $1.5 billion. The average person's increase is going to go up probably anywhere from 18 to 34, maybe even $50. Based off of calculations that they've uploaded for their files and what they are calculating what they need. That doesn't include their lobbying money to the PSC. How much money did they backbone lobbying money to the PSC this past year? Does anybody want to answer that for me? It's public record. The PSC is the biggest supporter of the utility company. They get their funding, PSC gets their funding. The federal government gives them their funding. According to the American Society of Civil Engineering in Missouri Water Infrastructure, Missouri sits at a C-. With all this money that they've gotten in rate increases over the past 5-10 years, why is our water infrastructure sitting at a C-? Well, I would expect a leverage of an A, maybe a B+. That's concerning because once again, you're putting the cost in for the consumer to pay while we're giving the CEOs all this money. It's only a matter of time before consumers stand up and they boycott paying their water bills. What's going to happen when that happens? Eventually, there's no water system. Look at third world countries. That's exactly what you guys are trying to do to our sector. You're trying to turn us into a third world country and give us lack of quality, lack of hope in what our infrastructure is, and a 34.4% rate hike is unconstitutional on all levels. In fact, as I said in a question answer for the first part, the commission has no authority to raise at 34.4%. If you look under the rules and statutes, it's 1% incremental. This would have to be transferred into a circuit court for a circuit court to hear, and then they would have to go back and offset and talk to the state tax commissioner's office to re-level everybody's actual rate for their municipality. I know I have to do that when I do stuff. It happens all the time. If the PSC and Missouri American Water need a better financial consultant, I can refer plenty because the numbers that they're asking for are way off. I'm not going to point out statutes, federal statutes, or go on for any of that because I've done that before in the past for you guys, and you guys have hibernated off of me. However, I believe the PSC is as much of a manipulator as the water company is when it comes to this, when playing with it, and I already believe you guys have your decision made. So I appreciate your time. And if the public council wants those documents, they are more than welcome to have them. In fact, I would love for them to have them.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Felber. Are there any questions from the commissioners for Mr. Felber? Any questions from the attorneys for the parties?
Very briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Felber, at the beginning of your comments, you described an issue you had regarding, I think you might have said counterfeit documents, and I apologize if I paraphrase. Just to clarify, was that in relationship to this case, or is that a separate matter that has occurred before the PSC?
It was in a separate matter. Yeah, they sent me a counterfeit document.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into the details. I just need to verify whether or not that was related to this case or not. You're not claiming to have received any incorrect information with regard to this case specifically. I just want to verify that.
It could kind of go in with their, that was another thing I wanted to bring up. We don't hear them talking about the, speaking of that, sorry. It was not with this case. However, the data breach. There was a data breach with the water company, correct?
I apologize. I was not intending to solicit additional comments from you. I was just needed to clarify that.
Yeah.
And as to the part you said at the end about it, you are more than welcome to send any information you would like to the Office of Public Counsel. You can find our contact information online, or if you want to submit a comment through the Commission's website or directly to our contact information, which I believe is attached on the LPH handout, we'd be happy to look at that for you. Thank you. I had no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
I did have one more question, or one more thing. I forgot to say.
Go ahead.
We had the data breach. Why isn't the commission launching an investigation into that? Why aren't they talking about that? I think that right now the water company should be looking at that. Why aren't we talking? What are they doing to safeguard everybody's personal information? What are they doing to make sure of that? We don't hear anything about that. That's on the back burner. But the rate increase is more important. It makes you wonder. I'm not making any conspiracy theory. I've heard of Spire recently also finding ways to make documents disappear. And it just so comes convenient during a rate hike.
All right, Mr. Felber, thank you for your testimony.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
If Mr. Felber or any of the other people who are participating online would like to make comments after the hearing, written comments, you can go to the Public Service Commission website. That's psc.mo.gov. And then on the right side of the homepage is a submit comments link. We would just ask you to reference this case number. It's WR-2024-0320. Before we end the hearing tonight, Commissioner Holzman, would you like to make any closing remarks?
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to thank you and staff and OPC and all the fellow commissioners for joining us. I want to thank Mr. Felber for making comments to the commission. We understand that not everybody is going to agree with every decision that is made, but this is an opportunity to express those opinions, and I do appreciate him taking that opportunity to express his. Judge, hope everyone has a safe evening, and thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner, and thank everyone who logged on tonight or phoned in. This hearing is now adjourned, and we are off the record.
Thank you, Judge.